oil slicks from your R's. You also have the ball bearing, or as I always called it, the bowling ball. This is a freaking huge heavy ball that trips up anything in its path. Next is one of the most powerful power-ups, the shockwave. This is kind of like ball lightning that shoots directly out in front of you, sending your opponents flying out of the way. Speaking of lightning, there's also the electric pulse, which is a temporary electric current that zaps any opponents that get
Alright, let's do this route.
the car for a few seconds. Another power-up is the turbo battery, which increases your top speed by 10% until it runs out.
Okay, what's the server IP? Type it in. I forgot.
It is the bomb. The bomb is unique in that it actually turns
I forgot I was recording. Hey guys, what's up? Today we're gonna do a lot of Minecraft. Well, probably 15 minutes.
Another evil pickup is the clone pickup. This drops a lightning bolt behind you that looks exactly like the other pickups, except this one will blow up anyone that runs into it. And finally, we have the most powerful of all, the star pulse.
I'm going to...
When activated, this star will temporarily disable every your opponents.
Okay, I cannot invite one more person.
None of these will completely destroy your opponents or you, but it sure as heck does piss everyone off, especially in multiplayer. Besides the weapons, the other big stars of the game are the traps themselves. Each one is full of twists and turns that will challenge even the most experienced racer, as well as environmental hazards and multiple racing lines to keep things interesting each time you play. Each one of these tracks has a genuine personality about it, from the set pieces to the sound effects that really makes them a joy to race through, even all these years later. I can't tell you
you ran east.
Drive upside down here.
Museum, and Revolt fulfills that fantasy with ease. Not only that, but the graphics are simply awesome. Back in 1999, this was one of the best looking racers I'd ever seen. Frick, it was one of the best looking games, period. Nice textures, bright colors, little details like blasting skid marks, weapon effects, and explosion decals, just made for an exceptional looking game. And thanks to its slightly cartoony, stylized aesthetic, I think it's held up rather well, unlike many other racers of the time period. Of course, just regular single races are only the beginning. There is also the multiplayer aspect, which is basically the same as single races for the most part, except for racing against live opponents. There is also an exclusive mode called tag, where you're
talking
trying to
for
stay
the
alive
crowd.
for 2 minutes while your opponents try to tag you. While multiplayer is super simple to set up over a LAN, it's kind of a pain to get going online nowadays. Thankfully, there are still communities of online Revolt players out there, like the RP House users, so you can try and join them through something like that. You also have single-player championships to play through, which are restricted to certain car classes and track sets. The goal here is to come in first place overall, as judged by a points system. Reach the end of the championship by gaining the most points, and you'll win a bouncing car animation, as well as some new cars and tracks to play with. And then you have practice and stunt arena, which are tracks free of normal restrictions, where the goal here is to collect stars. Practice is just practicing on the stock tracks without any fear of losing. And stunt arena is a unique, wide open area with loops, jumps, and half pipes.
Oh my gosh, you are wearing my helmet.
Independent of the car you choose, since many of the stars are totally out of reach except to only a few cars. If you happen to grab all 20 stars, you can unlock a new game mode, Clockwork Carnage. This is like single player, except you now have 30 cars in a race, and they're all tiny wind-up cars. It's just silly fun, and it's not something I play very often.
Our time limit is 15 minutes.
Try playing that, you're
This is a very simple
low end computer.
It makes it very simple when you try to race around on. To be honest, it leaves a lot to
Ooh, more cool.
vanilla form. I mean, sure, it works well enough, and on the consoles, I can see it being a little bit more of a novelty, but on the PC, you just know there could have been so much more. Thankfully, there are some ways to make
Iron! I see iron.
Track types entirely, so just look online for information on that. In fact, look online about the entire rest of the Revolt community, because it's significant and it's actually still going to this day. There are a ton of fan-made mods, additional cars, and tracks for the PC version of the game, and even unofficial patches to add new features and fix old bugs. So the last thing to touch on is the console ports. Alright, so let's look at
Didn't they crash our Revolt disc?
starting with the PS1.
That's why it didn't work.
Especially as far as graphics and physics go, which should be no huge surprise. The PlayStation was being pushed beyond its limits here, and you can tell. However, there are some unique features, like a new card selection menu, 17 extra cards, and 2 packs of tracks made in the track editor by Acclaim, known as Lego tracks. Still, I'd only recommend it for a die-hard fan. Next is the Nintendo 64 port, and it's pretty sweet. In comparison to the PS1, it features better graphics, better handling of physics, remixed music, an exclusive secret card, and another pack of Lego tracks. However, it still has some issues with frame rate and draw distance, as well as...
Sorry, I'm being so quiet, guys. This is like my first video I've made.
Easily the best of the console ports. It uses the same
I'm a
engine
bit
as the PC
nervous.
version. The graphics are spectacular, the physics are
I
great.
don't
There's
like
a lot of
talking
racing
a lot when I'm
cars, 2 entirely
nervous.
new ones, and even a new track.
SMP, so.
It also has a 4-player split-screen multiplayer mode.
Diamonds, diamonds, diamonds.
Original Xbox. This was never released and never got beta, so yeah.
Oh, that's X-ray proof stuff.
It came in a sit-down cabinet that was able to link up to other nearby machines and featured approximately the same gameplay as the PC game from what I gather, although with the expected tweaks to steal your quarters and make you swear. There were also 2 sorta kinda not really sequels titled RC Revenge and RC Revenge Pro, the PS1 and PS2. They're okay for what they are, but they're not really sequels to Revolt, and I would just ignore them. They're kind of lame. But the original, no. It's an incredible racing game that I still enjoy a whole lot even to this day. I may not play it all the time or anything, but it does have that lasting
With
appeal.
mods,
Whatever
you can just get them on the
hasn't
Zen
disappeared
list.
at all. All the versions are also pretty easy to get a hold of. You're not going to be paying a lot of money. And the PC versions will pretty much work on any PC made after 1999. So to wrap things up, Revolt is ridiculously sweet. Grab it and enjoy it. That's all I got.
After reading the bit, I think I know what to get it running. You have to just pound it a bit to get it run on Windows 7 as he had issues with it.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay.
There probably won't be lots of talking this episode. And do you guys suggest what game we should do next? I'm gonna continue Minecraft. I'm just wondering what you think we should do after we finish some Minecraft. Oh gosh, I'll get them. I'm poisoned! I'm poisoned! I'm dead.
Yay, I somehow managed to get the Markiplier again. Oh my god, he does 2013.
Alright, sorry I didn't talk much this episode, but that's the end of the episode. I'm ending it earlier than 15 minutes because I'm making sure. Alright, see you later.